Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
And so, Lou, why don't we start off with a great event that we just had this week, commemorating the Rotary Clock?
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, on Wednesday, the 16th, we had the official dedication of the Rotary Clock, which is downtown Newhall. And it really is the centerpiece of the theme of It's Time for Rotary.
Very nice.
Yeah, and that when they do promotions for downtown Newhall, we're trying to get the city to embrace the branding of Meet Me Under the Rotary Clock, because that Rotary Clock stands as a testament to the Santa Clarita Valley Rotary Club's dedication to the community of Santa Clarita and the revitalization of downtown Newhall.
I got to tell you, that revitalization of downtown Newhall is really, really cool. I think if it continues to grow at the pace that it's been growing over the last 2 to 5 years, it's going to be an amazing place to hang out.
It is already. I mean,
Yeah.
and I heard another restaurant's opening up there. I forgot what it's called. Something the rail, something in rail.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that recently on Facebook.
Well, the smokehouse opened,
Right.
finally.
Yeah, finally.
Sam's doing a great job. I go in there for lunch.
Okay.
We were there last weekend. And, you know, he's really gracious. He comes around, he talks to everybody, and
I love that.
he's a great host. I like when restaurateurs
Yep.
embrace their customers and welcome them to their establishment. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
That's
they're-
why I like going to the refinery. You can
Mhm.
see Simon and the crew there all the time, and they
Yeah.
do a great job.
And we like frequenting El Trocadero.
Yeah. Great
you know,
margaritas.
yeah, Raul and Blanca, they were gracious enough to contribute to the clock because they believed in what we were
I hear
doing.
good people contributed to the
Yeah,
clock.
yeah. Don and Gino contributed to the clock. You know, you got your name in there. It's all alphabetical order, so as long as you know the alphabet, you can find it.
Oh, I'm going to change my name to Angel.
No, you'll never pass.
Actually, they've got great ceviche there at El Trocadero.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
I remember that.
we came back from Panama with a Rotarian humanitarian trip, and we pulled into the El Trocadero a couple of days later, and hey, let's try the ceviche, and it was excellent.
Well, I want to
I was gonna
dive.
say,
Yeah, we got to
that's-
talk about
Yeah,
that.
we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
But, hey,
and
you know,
well,
we
no,
have
I like
to
that
be-
you're involved in the community, because that's one of our themes here is who we bring on has to get back to our community. 'Cause we live in our community, love our community, work in our community, live off our community, as do all of us here
Sure.
sitting at the table. But you're giving back a lot, and you're now the president of the Rotary Club. That hasn't kept you busy at all.
No. I'm finishing up. This is March, was it 19th already? And so I've got until June 30th. And then Wendy Lancy will take over as president of the Rotary Club after that. And of course, our Steve Korn, who's also a member of APRG, was president.
Newhall Escrow.
Yeah, 2 terms before me. So we have tradition of APRG members and Rotary presidents.
In fact, let's make sure they know how to get a hold of this group, because the group is growing with the best professionals we can absolutely find. We've interviewed, I don't know how many, we have over 900 interviews. You can go to donandgino.com, click on our YouTube channel. There's literally over 900 YouTube videos with interviews of the best professionals. Now, we've aligned them all together in one group for you right here in Santa Clarita called America's Professional Resource Group, and you can find out more by going to aprgi.com. That's aprgi.com. Has the best professional you can find in any field that you need. And these are, like I said, most 20-year plus experience members. And you can also subscribe to our magazine that we have that gives you great information and education called The Vault Magazine.
Yeah, and what we were teeing up a little bit ago is we were talking about how experience and how your community involvement is heavy, I would say, for the average business owner. Because in addition to running your own business, you still do all these other things, and some of them stand out to me. Action Family Foundation board member.
Right.
That's important, right? That's
is.
something where there's people struggling every day with things in their life that are maybe feel like they're outside of their control, and I think this is an organization that helps them find some sort of control.
Well, and the Action Family Foundation is the nonprofit arm of it, and we have funded the Experience, which is a mobile tribute to families who have lost loved ones to substance abuse, and it's a converted RV, and it will be available at different venues around town beginning in the spring and the summer.
And of course, we've talked about in the past too your involvement with the state bar
I'm
at
really
multiple
involved.
levels.
Yeah. I spent the last 7, almost 8 years as a member of the Bankruptcy Law Advisory Commission, finishing up as chair of that commission. and that commission is responsible for creating the exams and setting the standards of practice for certified bankruptcy specialists, of which I'm one of 144 only in the state.
Yeah, how many attorneys are out there?
There's over 300,000
300,000?
licensed lawyers.
Wow.
And you're one of 144.
Right,
That's a pretty
right.
select group, I would
Yeah,
say.
and
Yeah.
so
That's what I want representing me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I finished up as the chair of the Bankruptcy Advisory Commission, and no sooner was I ready to step back into private life, they said, no, we're going to put you up at the California Board of Legal Specialization. So that's a 4-year appointment,
Oof.
and that organization oversees the 11 law advisory commissions. So that's going to keep me busy.
What's really interesting is that, Lou, in your spare time, you actually run a business.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I try to make a living.
So tell us a little bit about that. So Esbin Law.
Yeah, I have an interesting practice. I've been a certified bankruptcy specialist for the last 20 years and practicing bankruptcy for the last 35. I have a degree in finance and accounting. And I take all that and I, at the same time, represent clients who are forming corporations. I become their outside in-house counsel, so to speak. And I'll do all their transactional work. In fact, I was getting here a little bit late because I'm in the middle of doing a multi-state deal with a client that's rolling out a new concept in a big box store, and we're doing we're closing a deal with hedge fund financing. So that's pretty neat stuff, and they like the fact that I understand insolvency, and so I look at everything from the perspective of how not to fail.
I've always loved that, Lou. We've talked about a few shows that how not to fail.
How not to fail.
Because a lot of people, like, oh, I know how to run a business. But do you?
Right. Well, you can go to the library or you can go to the bookstore, and there's lots of books on how to succeed. There's no shelf, no book on how not to fail.
Yeah.
And that's how I counsel my clients.
I love that.
The irony of the whole thing is that in order not to fail, you have to fail every single day and try different things and constantly be evolving.
Well, Edison said he failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb.
Yeah. And then there's some other smart guy said that the people don't realize how many times they were just about to succeed when they gave up.
Disney filed bankruptcy 3 times before he opened up Disneyland. I don't see anybody not going there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Abraham Lincoln used it. There's quite a few professionals use it, and some guy running for president's used it a couple times. So
Name 3 presidents who were on currency that filed bankruptcy.
Well, I know Lincoln did a few times.
Lincoln filed once. He bought a sundry store, and the books were cooked.
Oh.
Oh.
Even back then.
Even back then.
Jefferson filed.
Oh, that's right.
Monticello was sold to pay his creditors, which is kind of sad. And Grant filed. Grant was actually an investment banker. And in 1878, his investment bank invested heavily in silver futures. And the silver market collapsed in Europe and brought down the U.S. silver market, leading to the panic of 1878, and Grant had to file bankruptcy.
You know, it's interesting because one of the things you're bringing up is bankruptcy as a result of something, but it's a result of trying big things and being a big thinker and taking big risks. It's ultimately what it takes to be in a position like president.
Well, you know, it's an essential part of a capitalist economy. I like to tell people say to me, well, I feel it's morally wrong to file. I said, well, Deuteronomy 15, it's been around for 3,000 years. It's the Lord's release. Release your debtors of their debts every 7 years. Oh, I feel better about it.
All right, we're going to help you feel better about having great advice from great professionals like Lou Esbin with Esbin Law. So don't go away. We got our final segment, and Lou always has some pearls of wisdom that are going to change your life. Don't go away.